the dot. Thanks for joining us on Chicago Now. It's going to be a busy week ahead of us. I know I've been doing weather all morning, so do you want me to give a little spiel for everybody?
Well, I can't get enough of this.
I know. It's busy outside our window. We can see people walking around. So temperatures are already climbing into the 50s. Look at this shot. So
look
today,
at that.
Usually, you know, we're used to in the winter. It looks good, but it doesn't feel good. It's that deceiving sunshine. But today, we get the best of both worlds. We get the sunny skies and the warm temperatures. So highs today are going to be in the low 70s. Absolutely phenomenal. We are going to have a little bit of a gusty wind, though. We've had breezes this morning around 25 miles per hour. So 25 to 30 mile per hour wind gusts are possible. But after today, really all eyes are on tomorrow because we have the chance for severe weather. Tomorrow in the afternoon, especially, I would say mid-afternoon on through the early part of the overnight, we have the chance for severe weather. So all things are possible. Tornadoes, damaging hail, damaging wind. We could also be seeing some flooding throughout the area Tuesday night into Wednesday. So Wednesday morning could be impacted by the rain. And then temperatures are dropping. So by the way, tomorrow we're going to have a wide range of temperatures from the 50s in Chicago, 40s north, 70s south. So with that, depending on where you're located, really is going to change the forecast for you tomorrow. But then on Wednesday, temperatures dropping. And so on Wednesday, you know, the headline is a little bit of everything. We have the chance for rain turning over to a rain-snow mix. So on Wednesday, we're going to have the potential for some wintry weather. And then Thursday, finally a quiet day. So this first half of the week is really wonky. Tomorrow, definitely need to be weather aware. And I think the main headline for tomorrow with those severe storms is going to be have multiple ways to receive warnings because you might be in bed and we still have that potential for severe weather. So we want you to stay in the know, which you can sign up on our Fox 32 weather app, by the way. Sign up for the push notifications and you can pick which alerts you want sent to your phone from our app in case you are sleeping. But in the meantime, Anthony, you mentioned today it is going to be so nice outside.
Yeah. What was the phrase you kept using all morning? Something hazards? A full complement of hazards tomorrow? You said
That
it like
works.
5 times.
Did I?
Yes.
All hazards are possible?
Yes. All hazards are possible.
Yeah.
Weather hazards.
Yes. Yeah.
And okay, so this is one of those classic Chicago, just wait 15 minutes and the weather changes.
Yeah, exactly. But today we're on the up and up.
Oh my gosh, perfection
Yesterday was
outside.
such a nice day. I mean, we're tacking on 10 degrees. And something else that I mentioned during the show was 72 degrees is my favorite temperature outside. What is
Caitlin,
yours?
72.
Yeah. So it's going to be like the perfect just be outside weather.
I like the way you characterize it too. 72 is that temperature where you walk out and you kind of like can't feel that you're outside, or you know, it's just so pleasant.
Yeah.
It's like body neutral or something.
Yeah. But it is going to be a little bit windy, so I think we will feel that today. But
it was windy yesterday, but did you see, this was so great to see yesterday, the city coming alive.
Yeah.
Everybody in my neighborhood, they were out on their bikes. I saw packs of young people just riding around like little biker gangs. The playgrounds were packed. I took Jero to the playground. We went on a bike ride. Trampoline was used heavily yesterday.
Good.
Kids were outside with Nerf guns having like neighborhood battles. It was
picnics galore.
It was so great.
Yeah, it was a really nice day, and today's going to be even better.
Even better.
But yeah, we'll obviously keep you up to date with all of the changes in the forecast. But you know what else has been changing?
What has been changing?
Our sleep schedule.
Oh, God.
Over the weekend, you know, we adjusted to daylight saving time.
We are adjusting to daylight saving time. I got packed with the double punch. I think you might have too. Because your regular in time is when?
6.
6. And today your in time was?
3:15.
Okay. So you couple that. So my regular in time is 5. Today it was 4.
Yeah.
You couple that with the extra lack.
Brutal.
So it was like
Anthony.
a double punch. So when I woke up and got in the car, it was, let's see, I think the technical time was 3:30 when I got in the car, but the body feels like time was 2:30.
Yeah.
So it was like going to work at 2:30.
And then also going to bed last night. So I went to 9:30, but my body felt like 8:30, and then my alarm goes off at 2. My body thinks it's 1. It's just a hot mess. I think
I tried a melatonin.
I was thinking
Didn't
about
work.
it. Oh, it didn't work.
Didn't work. I woke up every hour last night, stressed about whether I'd missed the alarm.
You had Gabby here if you missed the alarm, though. You know? When you're doing the weather in the morning, it's like you're the only one. So you don't wake up there's nobody here
I
to
don't-
like back you up.
That's not exactly my thought process, though. Like, oh, don't worry about it. Gabby's there.
You should. It
Snooze.
should be. No,
Hit the snooze again.
But
Don't worry, Gabby's
get you
there.
some sleep.
Gabby's got it covered. I know it.
If I don't make it, Gabby's there at least. Poor Gabs. But no, I think the day after the time change, everybody should have the day off work. Kids should have the day off school. Let's just,
Make it a holiday.
adjust that way.
Well, it's so funny because the longer I'm in broadcasting, the more I realize how every daylight savings time we do stories about it, and there's consistently never anyone in favor of it.
Why are we doing
Like
this to
lawmakers
ourselves?
aren't in favor of it, sleep scientists aren't in favor of it. It's just like
We already are sleep deprived as a nation, and you know what we're gonna do? We're gonna sprinkle in a little bit of a time change. Like, why? We are choosing to lose an hour of sleep. This is crazy. I don't care if we keep daylight saving or if we go back to standard.
I don't care either.
Either way is fine, but can we just pick a lane and stay there? I
No,
don't like
we
the flopping.
cannot,
I don't
apparently.
like the flopping.
No, neither do I.
And the reason why they started it, right, was for the farmers.
Yeah.
Back in the day.
Right?
But so my husband and I were talking about this yesterday. Aren't the farmers on their own time? Like, why do they have to be? What does it matter to them?
Right. Well, the one thing I associate with the farming calendar was summer break from school, because back in the day, this is just from what I've heard, kids, young people helped out like during the summer months, so they built in summer break. So that's why summer break is a thing.
That is hilarious.
Yeah, isn't that wild?
I love that.
So we were just so agro-focused as a nation. But yeah, I do think daylight saving time has to do with that as well.
Because otherwise it's like, okay. I don't.
Things need to change, and I've made this point once, I want to make it again, and that is teenagers in particular. And we reported this on the news this morning, that teenagers in particular need more sleep than other age demographics, and sleep scientists, doctors, we're having a doctor on later, maybe we could ask her. They're not supposed to start school as early as they do. If they want to be smart, they would move the start time of a high school back like at least an hour, because high schoolers are reporting, so most of them don't sleep more than 7 hours. 25% of them, this is according to our report today, 25% of high schoolers say they sleep less than 5.
Yeah.
Because they don't go to bed at night.
Which is
they stay up.
wild.
They stay up, and then they have to get up, and then there's practices after school. Sometimes there's practices before school, after school, so you have like an underslept.
Yeah, teenage, and then all the hormones and things.
Yeah, it's not a.
It should not be. Yeah, no, I agree. They shouldn't be starting school as early as they do.
No.
Especially with under 5 hours of sleep. Are you kidding? That's wild. So today, everybody's going to be cranky.
Everybody's
but at least
gonna
the
be
weather's
cranky.
going to be
Do you know if your kids are cranky today? I have not checked.
Oh, what I do know is they were late to school.
Oh.
Yeah, but that's fine.
Probably
We're
a lot of
very
people are gonna be
loosey-goosey. Like, who
in the
cares? Just walk them in. Yeah. Okay, Taco Bell 50K.
Taco Bell 50K. This is another trender today, along with DST. Taco Bell is bringing an interesting race. This is in the DC area. As we take a look at a drive-through, you need a strong stomach and strong legs. This is called the Taco Bell 50K Ultra Marathon. Here's how it works. The race route takes runners through Washington, D.C., Northern Virginia, across 31 miles. So it's longer than a marathon, 5 miles longer than a marathon. Runners have to stop at 9 Taco Bell locations around the way, and you have to eat menu items at each stop. It's happening November 27th, the day after Thanksgiving.
What? What and what? Hold on. A 50K ultra marathon. So this is longer than a marathon. You said by how many miles?
5 miles.
5 miles.
Because a 5K is 3.1 miles, so a 50K 31 miles.
Sure.
And
okay.
I will say that
there will be 2 participants, and both of them have stock in Taco Bell.
Yeah. No, I hope they're lining the last 5 miles with porta potties the entire way.
So wait, how many times do they have to stop?
9 times.
Oh, 9. That's not that bad. You can eat like a bite, right? You have
times. Look at this.
5-layer beefy burrito.
Caitlin, I have done this race. This is only semi-race, not this race. I did something called the Beer Mile.
Okay.
Have you ever heard of the Beer Mile?
Tell me more.
The Beer Mile, it's actually I'm not going to say a serious event, but there's officially sanctioned beer miles where they actually keep a record of how fast people go. There's the world records in like close to 4 4.5 minutes.
Okay.
Here's how it works. You know how a mile is 1 lap, 4 laps around a standard quarter-mile track?
Yeah.
So here are the official rules of the beer mile. You run a lap, you chug a Budweiser.
A full beer?
A full beer each lap.
No.
So it's 4 beers, 4 laps, best time wins. Some people are very good at this. And I did this when I was quick on my feet, as a distance runner. And I raced against my friend who's not as quick on his feet, but he's a good drinker.
Yeah.
I couldn't even finish. Like if you here's the thing, if you throw up, you add on 20 minutes onto your time or something.
This sounds like a fraternity.
It does, but it's if you Google beer mile, and the top racers are unbelievable.
Are they shotgunning these beers?
They can do they can shotgun in like a
bottom and
so
it doesn't bubble it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And they're able to do it. I do not know how to do that, and so it was just Bubble City.
Did you get a beer bong out?
Those are not legal. But can you imagine? It's the Budweiser, so it's not even like you get an easy light lager. It's like the Bud Heavy, and it was bad. Yeah, like so my friend who I could just beat as a runner.
He beat you
by 20 minutes. I mean, I had to walk. I had to walk just to finish because I couldn't. If I ran, there was so much foam.
Yeah. Wait.
And it was so funny because
by the end, everybody's just walking with their beers.
We had like 50 or 60 people. My friend Todd organized this, and it was like a sanctioned beer mile, but it was like not sanctioned by the city, so everybody had to hop the fence.
Listen, we're getting to the bottom of this. It was Anthony's fraternity.
Yeah.
His friend and all.
I'm telling you, this is they have it every year. They did it.
That is so crazy.
They do it at the track up. They installed an all-weather track right at Wilson in the lakefront. They do the beer mile up there now.
I love a beer after
a race. I think we've covered. Oh, after a race.
After, for sure. But in the middle of it, that just sounds hazardous.
It's very hazardous.
That's really funny.
I don't necessarily recommend it. But yeah, the Taco Bell. So that's happening. I hope we do a follow-up segment on
the Taco Bell one.
Yeah, November 27th. Mark your calendars.
Anthony,
wouldn't be that bad.
Why not?
I don't think I could do the 31 miles, but I could do the 9. I could do the 9 Taco Bell stops, no problem.
We have a blow-up character on the sidelines here that is totally appropriate for this taco.
Oh my gosh!
I just realized it's a big poop.
Oh yay! It's a big poop emoji. Okay, and there's a reason for that.
It's a good.
Caitlin, hold on. Are you ready? We're doing a taste test today, guys. Here's another thing. We've talked a lot about colorectal cancer.
Yeah.
Okay. I've had, I think at this point, 3 colonoscopies.
Wow.
So I'm used to the prep. The prep is the worst, as we've known. But apparently there's some new flavors out. And so we're going to do, I wouldn't recommend, I don't know how much.
A beverage that you have to drink
exactly. Like maybe just a little teaspoon.
We're taking a little taste test. Usually, like with these things, when I'm pregnant, I can get out of doing these kinds of things. I'm not pregnant.
Oh, you can't get out of this.
So here we go. Gotta drink it. Gotta taste it.
So you have yet to do your first procedure?
I'm 36.
Oh, you're right. You're just
yeah.
I think they recommend 45 now, but we'll get to the bottom of it. We're gonna have some special guests for this colorectal cancer awareness.
That'll be fun. Yeah.
And then, oh my gosh, do we have some video to show you of the lines at the New Orleans airport? These are absolutely frightening. Look at those ants. They just look like ants. Here's the deal. Okay. The partial government shutdown, this whole DHS issue, Caitlin?
Yeah.
All right, some airports being hit harder than others. You are taking a look at MSY Airport. Okay, this is down in New Orleans. Amid this partial government shutdown, the line was so long that it stretched into one of the airport's parking garages. The airport says wait times to get through TSA were at least 2 hours. And they're directly attributable to the shortage of TSA workers.
This is what nightmares are made of.
Oh my gosh.
You rush to your flight and then you gotta go sit in line for 2 hours before you. I told you I don't like to fly.
I know. I know.
Can you imagine? I told you my anxiety is through the roof getting through those lines, sitting in a line for 2 hours, looking at the time that you're supposed to take off.
So stressful.
Ooh. I would just have to, in my mind, be like, I'm missing my flight.
part of me that's sympathetic. You know, I do. My mom's the same way. She does not want to contend with just navigating the airport. It can be so stressful, and people are being asked down there, because this is expected to last through the end of next week, to get to the airport 3 hours in advance.
Who doesn't do that? Doesn't everybody?
No.
How much in advance?
I mean,
do you
I
get
used
there?
to go 1 hour. Now I'm 2, but
You don't
3.
really?
Yeah.
I go way ahead of time. Pack in 3 hours at least.
In a statement, the airport says it has staff on hand to help keep the lines organized, and it's working with federal partners and with the TSA to help navigate the issue. But buckle up, everybody.
It's like a Disneyland ride, Disney World ride, sitting there for 2 hours. Can you imagine if you had your kids with you?
Oh my gosh.
They'd be
no,
all over the
thank
floor.
you.
Yeah, what a mess.
What a mess. So, I don't know, go prepared. I don't know what you would even do with toddlers, you know?
They'd be on the ground for sure. They'd be touching the floor. Snacks, lots of snacks. They should pass out beverages and things to get these people to be
Well, we talk
comfortable.
about all these incidents that happened. It's like air rage, not road rage. Did they call it like aviation rage or something? But all these incidents that happen on planes.
Yeah.
And it's this kind of
It's
thing.
because the anxiety, the stress is up.
Gosh, people just get so amped up. This is not going to help.
Were you the one that told me, like, when you're driving, the road rage thing has something to do with how your system is already kind of like, even without you even thinking about it, you're already, yeah, when you're driving, even if you're not mentally aware, like your nervous system is already at like a 10 when you're driving, so it doesn't take much to set you off, and that's why people get so mad. I could imagine that this translates over to travel as well.
I agree, and I think another aspect of the road rage thing is that you're kind of not face to face with the person. There's a windshield between you, there's doors and locks, and so you know how like online people can just say whatever they want to each other on social media, like it doesn't, you're not looking at them, you just type it in, get mad. I think there's an element of that with road rage too. You're not like face to face, and so, well, unless it spins out of control, then you get face to face. But it's easy to honk your horn and press a button and not like directly look in the person's eye.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
And you just automatically think like worst.
Yeah.
You imagine the worst like person.
Exactly. That
sitting
person
there,
cut me off.
when in reality you have no idea what's going on in their life. You don't know who's in that vehicle with them.
I have a really quick anecdote.
Let's hear it.
From my grandfather, my late grandfather, who's such a great guy. All right, so this was way back in the early 80s, before I think we had even named road rage. He evidently cut off another driver. This driver, this is in Indianapolis, followed him for like 10 miles, all the way back to his house, to his driveway. My grandpa gets out of the car. The guy had followed him. Walks up and he goes, "You cut me off, you cut me off, you son." You know what I mean, like that? My grandpa goes, "I'm so sorry." And the guy was completely disarmed. Like, my grandpa's demeanor just disarmed the guy. And the guy goes up to him, shakes his hand and goes, "You know what? You're a pretty good guy." To my grandfather. But my grandpa just like sincerely apologized and said, "I didn't mean to do that." And diffused the situation.
Great story. Go to the police station instead of your house.
I know.
Go to your house if someone's following you 10 miles. Go to the police station and handle it there.
Oh my gosh.
All the police say, "I'm on my way."
That normally does not happen during a road rage incident, because when it spins out of control and we see the vulnerabilities, it's always two parties involved. You know what I mean? It's one person reacting to the other.
Yeah.
The situation escalates, and then
I will just say, if you are a person that has road rage, like, you probably shouldn't. I say this in a nice way. I just feel like people fly off the handle, and you are the one that's in the wrong. I get a little bit worked up sometimes too, but not to the point where I'm throwing my hands in the air or honking, laying on the horn, or driving really aggressively, because that's not going to lead anybody anywhere good. So if
I'm going to quote you on that. If you have road rage, you probably shouldn't. That's Caitlin.
Work
That's
on it.
Dr. Cody's clinical psychology advice.
Go talk to somebody.
Yes, no, well
Call your
stated.
mom and
Well
have a good
stated. No,
conversation.
exactly. It's just not worth it. All right, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, drum roll, everybody. We're going to do the what we are calling the colonoscopy taste test. Okay, it's Colon Cancer Awareness Month. And obviously, you know, I'm a big proponent of the screening. I've done a number of them myself. And I guess we have some new flavor. You'll always hear this. The prep is the worst part. Do we have good enough tasting beverages that the prep is not going to be so bad? We're going to find out right after this break.
I'll never back down. All right, it is just about 10:23, and if you didn't know, it's Colon Cancer Awareness Month, and we're encouraging you to go get a screening if you're eligible. So we're learning more about what you can expect with Dr. Selena Lee. She's a gastroenterologist at Rush University Medical Center, and she brought us a display of beverages here. For our tasting pleasures.
Normally when we have a spread of beverages, it's like something seasonal, you know.
It is seasonal.
This is seasonal. So this is seasonal.
New flavors.
Dr. Lee, tell us what you have brought in for us today.
So I've brought a variety of samples of different options for bowel preparation. As you know, and as you've mentioned before, the prep is the absolute worst part for the majority of patients.
So, you know, we're just going to have we're going to dig in.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
These are different flavors, every different pour that you have here?
No, well, I mean, I also will join you. So there are 3 flavors, and I know exactly what is what. So if you do have a favorite, if you've had colonoscopy.
So we're going to do blind. Are we going to do a blind? Do you know which ones are which?
I do.
Okay. All right, so we have these, and I will say, so this, I remember, is this the full prep for the day before? Or is this half of it?
This is half of it. So the traditional. And that's what I wanted to...
Wait, hold the phone, wait.
Right.
We've got to drink all of this for prep?
Twice.
2 times.
This is the original, no, so I'm sorry. This is the traditional, and this is what turns a lot of people off. So when people are afraid of getting colonoscopies, oftentimes the root of the matter is that they are afraid of the prep because they've heard the myths and the stories, and there are awful stories. They have to drink a gallon of this awful tasting liquid to prepare their bowels, but I'm here to say that is not the case. In fact, not only are the preps better tasting, allegedly, I mean, you'll be the judge of that, right? The volumes are much smaller.
Oh.
So instead of, so you might think this tastes pretty good, but shots are fun, right? But it's the volume that matters to most people. Even if it tastes tolerable in the form of a shot, if you have to take 2 times that volume.
Yeah.
It's tough.
Yeah.
So what I wanted to demonstrate is that the preps can be as small as 2 6-ounce doses. And what does 6 ounces look like? So this is 6 ounces.
Oh, no
so
way.
That's
everyone
it?
is aware of how little it is. And if I were to demonstrate in a way that is maybe, you know, more common to people,
Just
this
2
is
of
all it
those?
is.
2
It is
of
just
those and you're done?
2 of these. Cheers.
That is
And you're done.
unbelievable. Cheers,
Yeah.
cheers.
Well, I mean, the caveat is you do need to chase it with water, but most people
Water,
can
you
tolerate 30 ounces of water.
Okay, so
Everyone's
wait,
drinking.
this was the old method?
That's the old method.
I've done the
this
old
is the
method.
new
I've
method?
done this a couple times.
Yeah.
2 of those?
Yeah, and I remember that it was tolerable for like the first
Yeah.
half of the day.
Absolutely.
But then it's like so much of it that it's like too much of anything will.
Yeah.
But it wasn't it was like blech bad. It's just anything. I mean, you're drinking
You
like
get sick
2
of it.
gallons of.
Remember the beer bong that we brought up earlier? Can you, no.
The beer bong, yeah.
You don't need to drink
in
as
any
much
form.
anymore. Yeah. Okay, so I see some pills here too. What is
Correct.
that for?
So this is also an alternative.
Oh,
This up here.
really?
For people, there are some people who even 6 ounces of liquid medicine is tough to swallow, and there are pills. They're not tiny, but it's a good alternative to,
not
you know,
scared at all now.
to the
That's
prep
so
itself.
easy. And then you just got to drink a bunch of water with it. Of
Correct,
course.
yeah. So this is 1 dose. You do need to take 2 of these doses, but you can pop pills 1 at a time. You don't taste it. It's a lot easier to tolerate for some people who have an aversion to liquid medicine.
Okay, so the only comparison that I have to something like this, which maybe someone's watching just like me, is the glucose test when you're pregnant.
Sure, yeah.
That consistency, it's kind of a thicker kind of Gatorade flavor.
Right.
Is that what we're looking at here? Similar?
Similar.
I'll tell
yeah.
you guys. I'll
Yeah.
taste test and then I'll let you know.
It's not the
I
best,
remember
but
it being
it's
like
similar. It's pretty
not as like good as Gatorade, but like in the same
well,
family.
The glucose test is so
Right,
sweet.
okay.
It's like brutally sweet.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's have
All right, do you want to do that? Should we do the taste test? So, Dr. Lee, you know exactly which ones are which.
Turn this around for us. Yes.
Okay.
Is this going to give us the poops?
Well, just like with anything, if you get overserved, you may get messy. So as long as you do not take too much.
Lucky us.
Same,
You know?
these are the same, so we can all.
So wait, so we go this way to that way, or this way to that way?
You will go this way.
Okay.
Your
I can see
flight
the
starts
color
here.
difference.
The flight starts here.
Right,
So,
the flight
Caitlin,
starts
we're going to
there.
do this. Here you go. All right. Okay.
Thank you.
Oh, you're going to do it with us. Very
I'm
good.
just going
Yeah,
to
I'm a
taste
good
it,
sport.
like a little sip,
Okay,
okay?
so here's
Okay.
number
Cheers.
1.
Cheers. Are you guys drinking the whole thing? No.
You don't have to.
Very sweet.
Tastes like electrolytes. It's a little salty.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's kind of like the pregnancy test.
It just tastes sugary.
Sugary with, you don't taste the salt.
Yeah, I guess I do.
The little electrolyte
yeah,
salt.
Yeah, I do.
It's just like that test, ladies, but just a little saltier.
Okay, so is that, I don't know, it tastes like,
Oh, there's a flavor.
like that blue Gatorade, whatever that's called. Like electric blue or whatever.
Yeah, I don't think it's the blue flavor.
What
It's
would
hard
you
to
call
say.
it?
Kool-Aid.
Yeah, Kool-Aid.
Or no.
What color?
Capri Sun. I don't know.
Oh.
What is it?
I'm not getting Capri Sun.
Is it tropical?
It's supposed to be. Yeah. Very
Ooh.
good. Yeah. Some notes of.
Tropical. Tropical. Pineapple.
Oh yeah, I guess so.
You know,
pineapple
a
in
little
it?
mango, a little
So,
smoothie.
let's go
I think you're on the right track.
Okay.
You're very good at this.
Well,
Not
I've
bad.
got
She's got a
kids.
very refined palate.
Yeah, right?
All right, we're going number 2 here.
All right.
Cheers.
Not my favorite. Not my favorite. I think it's orange.
I like this one better.
Do you?
See, and this is good.
It's a strong flavor.
I think orange, yeah. Is that
I'm getting mango from this one.
mango.
Are
Oh
you?
yeah.
I think I like the first one better. That one tastes a little irony to me.
Irony.
Like the aftertaste, you know? Very salt. Is there salt in this?
These are strong. So these are the smaller
Okay.
Part
doses.
of the how
right?
it works.
Yeah.
What's that?
This is like the smaller dose, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I will say, the larger one is more diluted.
Sure.
Right?
Absolutely,
Like this
yeah.
feels this feels like the syrup that this is, because you add water. I remember adding water to that, right?
Right.
So that's what you said. So if you take the smaller version, you just got to drink more water with
right.
it.
So you add the water to your body instead of to
Yes.
the gallon.
All right, so this is the third and final. So we got tropical, we got mango, and
I
now.
brought a palate cleanser.
Right?
This is my favorite. This is easier.
Sprite.
This is lemon lime.
That's the best. That's
Lemon
the one.
lime. Is that
That's
what we're
the
doing?
ticket.
Citrus? Something?
Yeah.
This is a lemon.
I think I would want to add water to it though, even just to drink it, because it is a little strong flavor.
You can. Yeah.
You know. But I love that you have the pill option. Okay, I do want to mention this before we forget. If someone is scared of the pills, they're scared of the beverages, they're scared of just getting the procedure done. We talked with you before about how maybe you have a stubborn family member. By the way, we have a guest coming. Guest of honor, if you will.
Can we get a tuba solo?
The kiddo's favorite. If you have someone in your life that you're trying to convince or encourage to get tested, there are other ways that you could do this even from your home.
For sure, yes. There are non-invasive options, and the two most common types test your stool. And so all you need to do is give a sample. So you take a sample, you put it in the home test you're talking about, you can send it directly to the company that processes it, and it's looking for microscopic evidence of blood and also cancerous DNA. They send you the results, and if you're clear, you're good for 3 years. If you have a positive test, then the understanding is that then the recommendation would be to go forward with the colonoscopy to see what was positive.
What are the new, I know that the guidelines have changed in recent years, but get us updated.
Sure.
A long time ago, was it 50 and up
Correct,
for guys? And then now what are the recommendations for both men and women?
45 for all people. So men and women, we start at the age of 45, and it can be if you're at average risk, which means you don't have a family history of colorectal cancer and you don't have a history of these precancerous polyps or any genetic disorder that might predispose you to colorectal cancer, then you can have any of the options for screening at the age of 45. The good news is that colorectal cancer is very, very treatable, and it's curable, and it's also preventable if we can catch it at a stage before it turns into cancer, and that's what we can do with a colonoscopy. So if the prep is the biggest turnoff, understandably there are other options. The colonoscopy is the only way to prevent a cancer, but we can still effectively find cancers at an early enough stage to treat and cure.
So if someone goes in, because we did have this beautiful display, and they want to pick a certain flavor, can they try them at the doctor's office and then choose?
Most doctors no, probably
Okay.
not. But you know, the good news is that in honor of Colorectal Cancer Awareness Month, our hospital has a week-long campaign starting today. Actually, today's the kickoff. It's happening right now at Rush downtown.
Oh, nice.
And on Thursday, we have a reception where there's real food and real drink, but also our Colo Bar. So if you'd like to belly up and try shots of bowel prep, then you can have the most memorable Thursday evening.
There's going to be a line out the
life.
door for this.
I would be surprised if there were not. And then you can decide which one you like the best, and you can request it.
Oh, okay.
Can we real quick get your take on the prevalence of colorectal cancer these days? We reported as recently as the last week some numbers from the American Cancer Society where they've gone up relative to other cancer rates. Some cancer rates have dropped. This particular kind is going up. What is behind this?
It's hard to know. I would say, you know, and this sounds like a cop-out, but this is very much what we believe. It's multifactorial. Part of it is that we're finding it more, so that will drive prevalence up because we are recommending earlier screening. We're also making huge efforts to make colorectal cancer screening accessible to more and more people. There's a huge push to screen all Americans over the age of 50 back in 2018. Now we're doing the same for those over the age of 45. So we're just finding it more. Also, our diets, our lifestyles have changed, and there is a lot of association with foods that are highly processed, high in saturated fats, low in fiber, sugars that have been associated with cancers of all types and also with colorectal cancer. Sleep deprivation, like you were talking about before. So, you know, I don't want to publicly give my opinion on daylight savings, but it's no surprise, or it's not shocking to most researchers that our circadian rhythms are affecting our health in a very tangible way. So shift workers, people who travel back and forth are at higher risk for lots of chronic illnesses, including cancers.
All the more reason
Doctor,
to get
it's okay.
screened.
Say it loud. It's
all the more reason to get screened.
Yeah. Okay. So if people are
100%.
watching this and this is speaking to them, if they want more information, Dr. Lee, where should they go? Where should they read
we have 3 major societies in gastroenterology that have a whole host of patient information. The American College of Gastroenterology has a lot of very digestible, accessible information that is available to anyone. We would love to talk to patients ourselves. We have our campaign happening as we speak, a big booth with information, volunteers talking to patients downtown at Rush University. So we would love to see you there in person. You can also go to our website and find out more about our campaign. And please join us on Thursday. I'll pass along the information, the link to our website, so that your viewers can easily access the information on our Colo Bar Taste Test event. It's you'll see the poo emoji there, our
selfie
mascot.
opportunity.
And the intestine tunnel was the colon tunnel.
Correct, you're absolutely
Very
right. Yeah.
nice.
We'll have the colon tunnel walkthrough. It's highly Instagrammable.
There you go. There it is.
You'll never have as exciting a Thursday evening in your adult working career
Yeah.
as one this week.
I want to put in my 2 cents before we go to break, though. I don't want to scare people with this prep. It's not that bad. You just stay home. You know you're going to be making regular bathroom runs. Just kind of hunker down, binge some TV, and also 2 other things. You've never felt so clean in your entire life, okay? You know
And
what I'm saying?
weigh 12 pounds. No.
And that first meal after the procedure is great. You go to your favorite restaurant. You kind of plan for someone to pick you up from the hospital afterwards and take you straight to like your favorite restaurant, and
Whatever
then
you
you
want.
just meal. You just so it's
Load her up.
Load her
up.
up.
The gut.
Exactly.
Yeah. Fabulous.
All right, so there's my little
And maybe
plug.
drink it with a straw, right?
Maybe.
And chilled. You know, I would.
And chilled, yeah, that could help chilled, yeah.
Throw in some ice cubes, perhaps.
All right, Dr. Selena Lee with Rush. Thank you very much for being here,
Thank you
and
for
I'm
having
glad you are raising awareness. And thank you for the
Such good insight.
sampler.
Yes.
Thank you
Yes.
for the sampler. All right, we're going to take a quick break. We're back with more Chicago Now after this, including we're going to meet with some folks. I get to MC this event this coming weekend. I can't wait for Saturday night. It is Twist Out Cancer. They pair up cancer survivors with artists in a very cool and very creative way. We'll talk with them right after this.
Fox 32 Chicago.
It is just about 10:39. We are joined by 2 really cool folks. Well, 3, Anthony, I guess. We're talking about Twist Out Cancer's 2026 Brushes with Cancer art exhibition and celebration. It's happening this weekend, and Anthony is going to be a part of it. So we're learning more about it this year's event with August Spree, who's the director of programs at Twist Out Cancer and a cancer survivor herself, along with Dr. David Turek, an artist, for the current Brushes with Cancer program and has been involved with Twist Out Cancer for 11 years. Thanks for joining us this morning.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks for having us.
Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is talk about this beautiful piece of art next to my head because people are probably looking right at it. So I guess we should start with Dr. David, and let's talk about this piece that you made.
So first off, thanks for having me. It is a huge honor just to represent Twist Out Cancer. It's been an amazing organization, meant so much to me, and I had the honor this year of being paired with a very special person named Bob, who has been touched by cancer in a lot of different ways. Caregiver for his father who passed away, caregiver for a lot of friends and family, and he is a big proponent of screening for male-related cancers, testicular cancer, prostate cancer, and he is a big fundraiser for the Movember Foundation, where the mustache is the
November.
figure.
Oh, I get it. Okay.
And if you saw Bob, I wish I had a picture of him. He's got a huge mustache, huge beard, and it's just so much of what he does and such a big part of him. So when we were creating the art piece, you know, the whole goal is to be able to capture a journey and tell a story. And Bob's story is not complete without the mustache. So,
What's the balloon reference? Can you summarize that at all?
you know, the biggest thing I learned from Bob was after his dad passed away from pancreatic cancer, he sort of changed his life. He changed the way he did things. Material possessions weren't important anymore. He actually moved to Spain, he was a big Hollywood costume designer.
Oh.
And he kind of got out of that Hollywood world, moved to Spain, and just, you know, now sits on a beach and hangs out with friends, and he's just got a different take on life. So the balloon is just sort of him floating through life without, I don't want to say worries, but he, you know, whenever I would talk to him and I had a busy day, I had the kids going, and, you know, I apologized for not getting back to him on an email, he'd say, it's all good, you know, just enjoy those times.
Oh, I love
and
that.
so there's something about just, you know, floating freely, you know, combined with a mustache, of course, but it just felt like him.
So, August, this collaboration between David and Bob is one of a couple dozen. And these events happen, these Brushes with Cancer events happen all different cities throughout the year. Tell us how the event works and how these artists are matched up with cancer survivors and kind of the process and what happens at the event, what's going to happen at the event on Saturday.
Yeah. So the Brushes with Cancer event is actually the end of the program. The program has been happening for about 5-6 months, and the start of it is that we call them inspirations. So they could be survivors, previvors, or caregivers, and they all apply to be a part of the program as well as the artists. And then myself and the founder of Twist Out Cancer, Jenna Ben-Schercher, it's just the two of us. We go through every application and we carefully match. It's like a matchmaking process, but not romance. And we match them one-on-one, and they spend that 5 or 6 months connecting. And so, as David mentioned, his match is in Spain, so they have to do calls or Zooms or emails to connect, but they spend all of that time just sharing, and then it's David's job to just listen and hold space and then create something beautiful out of that. So at this event, we will have 27 pieces. There have been 27 matches representing 13 states and 3 countries. And so people will get a chance to see all of the art, learn all of the stories that inspired that art, and then celebrate all of the beauty that comes from painful situations.
Can we talk about the name Twist Out Cancer and where that came from?
Yeah. Our founder, Jenna Ben-Schercher, when she was diagnosed, it was very early days of social media, and she felt isolated and really missed dancing. And so she posted a video on YouTube, which I think you can still find, of her doing the twist. And she just said that she missed dancing and who will join me for the twist. And very quickly there were thousands of videos in response.
Wow.
Yeah, just people doing the twist and saying, we'll join you. And that is why we have the name Twist Out Cancer, but also how the organization got its start 13 years ago.
It's always fun doing the twist because I've been involved with this organization for many years.
A long time, yeah.
Very many. I don't know if it was the very first year, but it was at the Hideout.
Oh, right.
It was, I think it was back in like, I don't know, it was a while ago.
8 or 9 years ago.
Yeah. And it's grown so much.
Wow.
And I know it's expanded to multiple cities, but it's so cool, Caitlin, because you just heard his story about Bob. You get 27 other stories, 27 really cool pieces of art, and then they're all auctioned off? Are they sold or they auctioned off?
They are auctioned in a silent auction, which is open now, but also will be open through the event. It closes on the night of the event. And we have sculptures, we have more canvas art, we have, I mean, there are so many different mediums.
And it all raises money for this great cause. So it's just like this, I mean, it's so cool because it creates a visual event.
Yeah.
You know, it's visual, but there's so much storytelling involved because like August said, you've been talking to Bob for this is just the end of the road. We all show up. I show up for the very end, but it's almost, so what is it? You've been involved for 11 years now?
11 years.
So you've had 11 pieces of art that you have created.
At least. There were some I did 2 for or something.
You did 2.
Yeah.
And so what keeps you coming back then, David, to do this over and over again?
The biggest thing that keeps me coming back, and I think a lot of people who come for these, is the community. 11 years ago, I had loosely been touched by cancer, but not very tightly. And when one of my best friends was diagnosed with cancer, leukemia at a young age, another dentist, Dr. Marty Hogan, who has now become very, very involved in the Twist Out Cancer organization, my first call was to Jenna. And I said, Jenna, I don't know what to do here. I haven't been in this situation before. Can you reach out to Marty? And Jenna's just the kind of person, and August is the kind of person, and this whole organization is just grouped with people who are caring, compassionate, and it's not just about curing cancer, it's about living with it and how to deal with it and a support system. And so for me, you know, I love making the art. I love telling the journey and the story of those who have been affected by cancer. But I think more than anything, if you were to take it down to what is the most meaningful of the whole thing, it's the community sense you get because everyone's been touched by cancer. And, you know, at the time when I hadn't been as much, I knew that I was creating the support system for the inevitable. And when my best friend Marty, who's now, thank God, in remission and he's doing great, you know, when I was dealing with that as a friend, Twist was there for me to understand how to help, and then there for him to actually lend support and help however they could. So.
Really great.
August, it sounds like this is a great resource for folks. Where should people go if they want to reach out to you?
twistoutcancer.org is a great, I mean, it showcases all of our programs. This is just one of them. But also they can email me, august@twistoutcancer.org as well.
Okay.
And it's happening this weekend, and there are opportunities down the road to get matched up with a previvor, a survivor, a caretaker, correct?
Right.
If you're an artist and want to get involved, that you can head out. You can head to that same website, twistoutcancer.org.
Absolutely.
Correct?
We have several programs that happen per year. So again, this is just the end of one of the programs. I'm launching another one right now. Actually, 2 more right now.
So you're in the process of matching other people right now.
Yes.
So there you go. If you're an artist, if you want to get involved, reach out to August. This is so great.
I would make a call for any artist who wants to get involved. It is one of the most fulfilling things you'll do with the talents that you have to help people. And if more and more artists could get involved, I think sometimes that's the harder thing to get, right? Is to get artists on board. And if I can talk to any artist, you know, that I would really encourage them to get involved. Really
cool. I cannot wait for Saturday. I always love doing that. I think this is like my 5th or 6th time being involved. I cannot wait to see both of you guys. I'll be dressed better, and I cannot wait. All right, thank you both for being here in studio. Really appreciate it. August Spree, Dr. David Turok, really appreciate it. We're going to take a quick break, and then we get our, I feel like this is a monthly dose of coolness in the studio here. We get a visit from Selena Fragassi, music critic, to run down the list of all the cool concerts happening now that the weather is getting better, when we come back right after this.
It's
sad.
Goodness gracious. It is 10:52 just about on this beautiful Monday here in Chicago, and we are talking about concerts this month. And joining us, of course, is Selena Fragassi. She is the pro when it comes to these things. As Anthony always says, she's the cool one. She brings us the cool things. So you said that we have quite a few things going on this month, including Cardi B. I know I'm jumping ahead of myself, but let's start with March 9th.
Today?
Sienna. Oh, today.
I know.
It's happening today. What's happening today at Lincoln Hall?
Lincoln Hall,
Yes.
Monday night show.
I'm so excited. I'm going to her tonight. So I have to tell you guys, I went to Adele's very first show in Chicago at Martyrs back in 2008, I believe it was.
Oh my gosh.
I feel like Sienna could be that moment too. I think she's onto something. She could be
Adele
like,
played at Martyrs?
yeah.
Wow.
The little bar on Lincoln. Like, I mean,
like 20 people saw Adele at Martyrs.
that is wild.
Yeah.
So this could be like another moment
pretty.
like that.
I'm going to forecast that Sienna's
very pretty.
going to big places. She, grew up writing songs at 10, very inspired by Frank Sinatra, Amy Winehouse. She has that jazzy kind of feel. She's the new UK it girl, following Olivia Dean and Ray. She's got a beautiful voice, very powerhousey, but kind of that rasp of Lola Young.
Soul.
A lot of big cosigns. Sam Smith just appeared at her show in New York. So the show is very sold out, but if there are ways for people maybe show up outside, maybe there'll be some drop-offs. You can get in. I really think there's big things coming for
She's
Sienna.
only 20. She's 20 years old.
20, not even an album out
I'm
yet.
glad she's on our radar. Sienna Spiro.
Yeah.
Okay, we got the Ike Riley assassination. This is the Ike Riley assassination playing at Shuba's.
Yeah.
Great little venue.
Yeah, local guy. So Ike is from Libertyville. He grew up a little bit older than Tom Morello, but they've become very good friends, and so they've done a lot of work together, including this documentary that Tom Morello produced. Ike is really interesting. To me, he's like the Bruce Springsteen of Libertyville. Very much like working class folk rock songs, incredible singer-songwriter, but he never reached that level of fame, and that documentary is very much about why, and it's a very heartwarming story.
Oh, cool.
So watch a documentary, then go to his show, 3 nights. He is Irish, so he'll bring in like some Pogues covers, do some St. Patrick's Day stuff this weekend.
That's fun.
Yeah.
And affordable, $25 a ticket.
Yeah, and you're supporting
Wonderful.
local if you go. So
Okay, and then the Salt Shed, which I am dying to go to the
So
Salt
great.
Shed.
15 years old, Maddox Batson.
yeah.
Oh, it's baby.
15-year-old?
Baby.
I know,
kid?
these kids are crazy. Like, when I was 15, I had no idea what I was going to do with my life, and here they are. He's the youngest ever on Billboard's 21 Under 21 list.
Holy smokes.
He made his Grand Ole Opry debut already. So he's in like the country kind of pop realm.
Oh.
He was on tour with Lainey Wilson.
Wow.
Yeah, so he's got kind of like that Post Malone Jelly Roll country crossover pop kind of vibe. Really talented. Discovered on TikTok, and now he's playing Salt Shed.
So he's got a
Social
major
media.
audience. I mean,
Yeah.
to even book that venue, you've got.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is so impressive.
Yeah.
Mom and dad on the
Little
sidelines.
prodigy. Where's this? So this guy, Nashville. Okay, he's from
Yeah.
Nashville.
Wow.
Wow.
I love that.
I know. Little kids, right? I mean, there's a lot of talent out there, and you don't have to be a certain age to get on a stage, you know? And I give them
Unbelievable.
credit, like, when you're that young, getting on a stage like that,
Yeah.
that is no small feat.
Right.
So,
Right.
Oh,
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah.
Used to be like the Disney kids, right? That were at that age. Getting
Right, you see those old videos of like Britney Spears
Yeah,
and
Justin
Justin Timberlake on stage
Yeah.
together.
Now it's social media. Okay, so Cardi B on March 21st, United
Yeah.
Center.
So Cardi B's back. She hasn't had a tour in 6 years, and weirdly, this is her first arena tour, which I'm kind of shocked at because
Yeah.
she became big with her first album. But her sophomore record, "Am I the Drama," just came out. Great record, of course, tongue-in-cheek, playing into how her personal life can often overshadow her artistry, but. Expect anything at a Cardi B show. I mean, she's obviously very vocal. She may have some surprise guests. There's some really great people on her album, like Lizzo, Megan Thee Stallion, Selena Gomez. So this will be a big one. Of course, it's completely sold out, so it's resale prices. So it may be
Okay.
hard to get in. But if you can find a way, I guarantee
If
it's
you're
worth
so
it.
motivated,
Yeah.
you'll find a way.
I mean, she's the queen. And I kind of feel like I have no intel, no idea what's happening, but I feel like she maybe could play Lollapalooza.
No way.
Well, I was trying to think of, at the Sun Times, we
Yeah.
just did like a forecast story.
Yeah.
And I was like, who's going to be the big hip hop act this year? And I just feel like she would be a great
Okay,
one.
all right.
Too big for it?
I don't know. That's always the question, right? Because
Yeah.
budgets and exposure.
Like if you get a certain amount of big, you
Yeah.
can't play those festivals. You got to do arenas every time.
Yeah.
Yeah. But so if you can't go this month, I think
You
she'll
heard
be
it
back
here
in
first.
one way or another.
Okay.
Lollapalooza,
All right.
putting it out
Maybe,
there.
maybe.
Ravi Shankar Ensemble.
Yeah.
Who's
Yeah.
Ravi Shankar?
So Ravi Shankar, for people who don't know, is an incredible classical Indian guitarist. He was sitarist. Sorry, he was very, very influential with the Beatles, George Harrison,
right.
like all the lessons
Within
he
You,
gave
Without
them.
You, the Sgt. Peppers. I remember
Exactly.
hearing that.
The
Yes.
Byrds, the Rolling Stones. I mean, that 70s rock canon really relied a lot on Ravi Shankar. He has unfortunately been gone for a while now, but his daughter is Nora Jones. So there's like a legacy there, of course, around Ravi. His wife and his other daughter have put together this very special ensemble to perform his works, and there's going to actually be rare audio and video from over his archives. So if you're a Ravi Shankar fan or just want
Cool.
to try something different, I mean,
Cool.
a sitar is one of my favorite instruments.
Beautiful.
Beautiful.
It's
Wow.
very beautiful.
That would be such an experience.
Okay, we have another minute. This man we've all heard of. Bob Dylan is playing locally.
Bob Dylan, I mean, he's 84.
Amazing.
It's crazy, right? That all these legends
Passion.
still doing it. They love what they do.
Yeah.
Of course, coming hot off the A Complete Unknown biopic, he's going to be doing it himself over at the Genesee Theater. So out in Waukegan, not in the
yeah.
city
Oh,
limits,
wow.
but
Okay, that's
one thing, if you do go to the show, they are warning that there's going to be no phones allowed. So they give you those like little yonder pouches. You put
I
your
love
phone
it.
in.
Put that phone away, Kaplan, because you know Mike Kaplan. I could see him going. He's from Waukegan.
Oh, that is his neck of the woods.
And then we got a couple seconds left. This is an Evanston show?
Yeah, Glenn Hansard at Space.
Okay.
One of my absolute favorite singer-songwriters. He became well known after the movie Once came out. Do you guys remember that? 20 years
Oh,
ago?
does he have red hair?
Yes.
Beard?
Yeah.
What was that song?
Falling Slowly, and yeah, I mean-
Yeah, I don't know the words.
hear it, Anthony,
I
a little
remember
louder.
the movie.
Yeah.
And he's like, wasn't an actor. He was
No.
a singer, but he was very good.
He was a busker. I mean, he's incredible. So he will be at Space.
Wow.
Not to miss. He's just awesome.
Fabulous. So fun. Okay, they start tonight. Don't forget, if they want to find this list, this lineup, where should they go?
All of these, well, hopefully the segment will be online, right?
Yes.
At that point.
Yes.
But also, I'm covering a few of these for the Sun Times, so I'll be reviewing
Sometimes.
some, so check it out.
Selena
Selena,
Fragassi,
thank you so much. We are out of time, Caitlin and I, but another hour of Chicago Now is up next with Gabby and Tia. Stay with us.
All new Tuesdays on Fox.
Tia. Oh, Gabby. Welcome back to Chicago Now, 11 o'clock hour. I'm just tired today. And you know what? I was thinking, I was like, maybe it's because of the time change, but
That's
also,
what it is.
But I don't have an excuse. I don't have any kids. You know, I was able to like, sleep in.
Ripping somebody's hour
And
away.
it was Saturday night, right?
Ripping, I don't remember when it was, but it doesn't matter. It was Sunday. Well,
I will say I got to bed later last night because the sun was still up later. And so I was all confused. And I looked down, all of a sudden it was like 7 o'clock. And, you know, I go to bed early. And I'm like, wait a second, I got to get going.
I think it's one of those things with this whole spring forward, spring back. It does change your body, the way that we adapt to like everyday life. And I woke up yawning and I couldn't understand why. I was like, oh yeah, daylight saving time.
Yeah.
That has everything.
Did you get to enjoy the weather yesterday? Although it was really windy.
It was windy. I had to hold on to my hair a few times. But other than that, yeah, I enjoyed it. It was great. It was absolutely great.
We were on a walk yesterday, just like here in the city, and I saw two people with their hats actually physically fly off, and they had to chase them.
Well,
it wasn't like a cute.
Toupee. It could have been worse.
That's true. Whose toupee fell? Oh, the boxer. Remember when we had that clip of the boxer whose toupee fell off?
Well, he wore it in a boxing ring. What did he think was going to happen?
And you
it got boxed right off.
You accused him of actually doing it on purpose.
Yeah, to go viral.
But you know what? It was only short-lived, so was it worth it? Was it worth it? I don't know. That's our advice to you: is don't wear a toupee while you're boxing.
Very true.
Or we'll fall off.
Okay, we got to talk about what's coming up on the show.
Yes.
We need you to stick around for it because we got some good stuff.
So St. Patrick's Day is this weekend.
Yes.
Do you have any plans?
I don't.
I do.
You do?
I'm gonna an undisclosed location, but essentially it's like along the river, and we're doing the morning drinking shift pretty much.
Yeah.
And I'm super excited about it. It's like all you can drink during those few hours, all you can eat. So it's nice. They have like little light bites. We did it last year, and it's coming in this year.
Are you gonna stay out the whole day? Because that's what I've done when I have celebrated St. Patrick's Day.
Probably. But then you're so tired by like 4 p.m.
That's life. You gotta live.
That's true. That's true.
You gotta live.
That's true. But the best part about being like along the river is people watching, I think.
So true. And the outfits. Oh my God.
More than anything, because I don't really drink all that much, so it doesn't really matter to me. But it is interesting. Well, you know what? If you don't drink at all, there's some sober events that we're going to be talking about. All right?
Yeah.
Don't do me like that.
I'm not judging you. I'm not judging.
Don't do me like that.
Hey, with our job, you deserve to toast it up every now and then.
Well, speaking of jobs, there's new labor laws that are in effect that maybe your employer won't go out of their way to tell you about, but that's why we're here, because we're going to tell you about them. So interesting. I learned a little bit just like briefing myself through them. But first, we have those trending stories.
We do, and this one, I'm like, you know what? I don't care how bad an ex does me. You're not getting this kind of attention off of me. Maybe you've seen this singer Lily Allen. She wore this dress when she was performing. And what's crazy is that it's made out of basically handwritten lyrics.
Wait,
okay, so this is all printed, but it's the receipts tied to her split from Stranger Things actor David Harbour. And it's all the receipts
that's Hopper.
from where he like purchased things for other women.
Are you for real?
So one of the receipts on the dress is from a luxury department store, which she sings about in a song about discovering the receipt for a handbag her husband allegedly purchased for another woman while she was away. It goes, you bought her a handbag, it wasn't cheap, I was in London, probably asleep. I like that lyric.
Wow.
The dress showed other receipts for other things her ex allegedly bought other women. She'll be performing here in Chicago on April 3rd and April 4th. I hope she wears the dress.
You know, it's not that cute though, I'm sorry to say.
I don't think it was meant to be cute. I think it was meant, again, to go viral.
Yeah, but like you can make it cute and still go viral, Tia.
True. Here's my question. Would you care that much?
No.
About somebody that did you wrong to the point where you're going to put it on a dress where you're the show?
No.
You kind of took away from the show.
I think it's fair to be angry at times, but then you're just making yourself too much of the victim. I always go, like if he wanted to, he would, or like, God's got me. Like, the path is made, so why am I going to dwell on it?
I just would have came on stage with another man. I'm not.
Or that.
I mean, that's just me. Like, the best way to move on is to sometimes move on to somebody else.
That's true.
I mean,
I wonder what his response is. This was this weekend that this happened?
Yeah, this was this weekend. He probably don't have a response.
We need to see Mr. Hopper's response, because that's what he plays in the TV show, right?
What did I say his last name was?
David Harbour.
Oh, yeah, Harbour.
But he plays
Hopper.
Yeah,
right.
in the show, I think.
Yeah, it's Hopper.
Wow, interesting.
I'm just not giving you that much credit at my show about you cheating with other women. I'm just not doing it. So my revenge would have been to come on a stage with my new lover.
Why am I blanking on any Lily Allen Allen music.
Songs?
Yeah, songs.
Well, that's one of them. I just gave you the lyric. You bought her a handbag. It wasn't cheap. I was in London, probably.
That could be anybody. that could be anybody. Yeah,
That's
you
all
sing
I
it for
got.
me, I will. Maybe I'll catch on. Also, we always feel like we hate on Gen Zers on this show. You know what? I'm a Gen Zer and I kind of hate us too, to be honest with you. I'm like on the very high end of it. Anyways,
I'm a millennial.
So, new generation of mall rats.
The Gen Z crew?
And I have always said this. That Gen Zers are instant gratification kids. Like, that's what they've grown up with, right? Even in Amazon, you know, okay, you have to wait 2 days, but still, like, you're just instantly getting it, or you're instantly like clicking and buying something because all the tip of your fingertips.
But I feel like everything comes back around. You know, everything comes back around to another generation eventually. So.
Yes, that's true. But I say this because going to the mall, and I see people do it, going to the mall is instant gratification. Like, if you want a shirt, like, you're not going to have to wait 2 days. You're going to get it right then, right now. And that's what studies are showing pretty much, that they want instant gratification. So shoppers between ages 18 and 24 bought 62% of their total general merchandise purchase in stores last year. Right? Shoppers ages 25 and older, which I think like 28 is the highest of like Gen Z technically, whose member span are, 25 and older by contracts made 52% of their purchases in person, which is still high.
That is high.
But we've been seeing like things go down so much, so until I think the last couple years, we're seeing things, turn around again.
Yeah, I'm not surprised.
This is going to continue.
I'm not surprised. I think it's like one of those things where every generation does something different, but it eventually comes back to where they're doing the same thing that another generation has done. So I'm not surprised that people are going to the mall.
But they also say that a lot of Gen Zers like do shopping differently. Like, they take the time. Everyone wants to be an influencer, so they're trying things on in the stores and posting it, which I think is actually such a hack. But maybe, you know, are there any rules against that? Like, you go into a store, trying on an outfit, taking videos of it, and like doing a try-on series.
I mean, if you're in the dressing room, who's gonna knock and say, hey, you can't do that?
That's true.
Nobody's gonna stop you.
Because I see it all the time with Zara, and I thought I heard that someone was knocking it. But what I'm saying is, like, you see those videos online where girls are trying on these different outfits in the dressing room and they're taking videos of it. And that pretty much stops them from having to actually buy the outfit, take it home. You know, they're doing it all right there.
That's true. But I mean, it's no different from you trying on clothes. The only difference is that you're recording.
And it is promoting them, right?
Still promoting the store.
Yeah.
And the outfits, because somebody's going to see those videos and buy them. But it also, in my opinion, you would do that anyway. Like, haven't you gone to a store and you're like, oh, I want to try this dress on. You try it on and you send the video to a friend.
That's
or
true.
A picture. It's kind of the same thing, except for this is to the masses on social.
Could you imagine like a pack Saturday? Remember those pack Saturdays? You'd go to the mall
and everybody's
with your mom, and everyone's in there, and the dressing room line is already so long.
Because of the influencers.
And then now you have girls. Well, now you have girls. Now it's even worse. Like, back in the day, it used to be even long. And now you have people who are just, you know, taking their sweet old time, taking videos, not a care in the world.
Maybe they do it at a time where it's not busy. At least we hope.
Yeah, I guess. But now you can use social media to find what clothing's there, and then they look it up, they see if it's in stock, and then...
Well, I'll be honest, I've bought outfits that way. I've had influencers that I feel like we're the same body type. I don't have all the time in the world to go hang out in Zara and try on clothes. And I bought things that way because said influencer that I feel like kind of resembles me, you know, has tried it on and looked good on her, so let me grab it and see if it looks good. Because I needed something quick. So yeah, I've done that before.
What were some of your favorite stores? Like when you're in middle school, high school?
My favorite stores, Rave was one of them.
That's Rave, whoa.
You have not heard of Rave, I know. Rave was one of them. And then there was another one, it was 579.
What kind of clothing was at Rave?
Kind of clothes. Kind of like what Britney Spears is currently wearing.
Oh.
Sorry, Brittany, I didn't mean to go low.
Whoa,
but I mean, she's still wearing clothes from that era on her social media.
That's true. Oh, so you're talking like cutout. Like,
I'm so sorry,
you don't even need the undergarments.
I love
will show. The undergarments in these clothes will show.
I love Britney Spears, but she is still wearing the clothes that we were buying in high school.
I tried looking up one of Britney's videos because, like, someone had one up the other day and it was just outrageous. But then she got into some trouble, so her social media is down, I think, right now.
It is. It's down. Okay, so that was Rave. You get the idea here? Rave.
Oh, you know what? I
very
remember
bright.
this.
things were cut out and stuff. And then 579, we'll probably get a 579 was a little more on the conservative end. And then my favorite store of all time that I didn't get to go to a lot, but I did go a few times, was United Colors of Benetton, I think was what it was.
Nice.
And it was like your Gap, kind of like a Gap, Banana Republic, Abercrombie and Fitch, kind of like, it was that look,
Like
but
classy.
colors.
Oh, okay.
There's a lot of colors and vibrancy.
Interesting.
Yeah, those are my faves. And JCPenney, of course.
JCPenney, she did it right.
I go with JCPenney.
Why is that funny?
Because it's just funny, like, to think back to, like, some of the stuff. And then Zayre's. We'd shop at Zayre's.
Zayre's.
Have you ever heard
I
of
don't know
Zayre's?
what's up with this hair right now. No, I've never heard of Zayre's.
You've never heard of Zayre's?
Have I? I don't.
I think it's
I'm gonna
called
have to see it
Zayre's.
because after seeing
Venture?
Rave,
Was it
it looks
Venture?
familiar.
One of them, I can't remember now. But yeah, 579, Rave or my stores, 100%.
Interesting. Maybe they can make a comeback for you, Tia.
That's okay. They don't have to.
No?
And then there was another one. What was it called? Dots. Dots. Yes. How could I forget Dots?
Dots.
That was a good one. Yeah.
Yeah, it's all
some
coming-
good times.
It's all coming back.
It is all coming back.
I heard today.
It's way back though.
And you know what?
Years
This
ago.
is like not even some of my favorite stores, but just how shopping's changing right now. Like Saks off Fifth and like Saks Fifth Avenue. Like some Neiman Marcus's are closing. Saks off Fifth Avenue, which
They're
is like kind of
closing,
like
yeah.
it's closing. Then didn't we have one on Michigan Avenue? Pretty sure this weekend was last week.
We had a Saks off Fifth on State Street.
State Street. Okay.
On State Street.
And then I'm hearing that Eddie Bauer is closing all of its locations. I don't know if they're primarily going to be online, but they've been around for like 100 years.
And I love their stuff too. Very classic.
It is, yeah, and it is not too much branding. That's the thing. Like, I like clothes, honestly, that's not too much branding in your face.
I do too.
Sure, like some pieces are cute, especially if they're designer. Like, I'll take any gift, but
see, now
for
even
the most part.
But see, some of these designers, I don't want to name them because I don't want to get sued, but there was a designer out there that people have been paying thousands of dollars for their bags and their shoes and all this stuff, only to find out that the bag, like to make it, is like $20.
I know.
I mean, so
That's the risk.
I think some of it is like the value is placed where we place it.
Yeah.
You know, the way we see it makes it have value, but in all actuality, the cost to make some of this stuff is pennies on the dollar. That's why when people, like I've seen girls, you know, they'll flaunt like, ooh, look at me, I got a new Louis Vuitton, or I got a new, and I'm thinking, you should be a little embarrassed. It only probably costs $2 to make that.
No, actually.
In some cases,
and how do you know?
seriously.
There's no way I would know. Maybe it's just because I'm not that into like luxury items. But if someone's stuff was real or if it
fake.
weren't. Yeah, so like because I know that little, I'm not going to be the first one to raise my hand to spend $5,000 on something. But if you know your stuff and that's like really important to you and you know you're going to keep it and take care of it for a long time, then please go off.
Yeah, I do think there is certain merchandise that it actually increases in value. Like they say the Birkin bags increase in value, the Chanel bag. I think I saw a report not too long ago that said it was moving faster than gold in terms of like,
really?
how much it was
Value?
worth in value. So I mean, if you're doing something like that and that's something, you know, you're making money out of it, sure. But to just be walking around, I mean, even there's an outlet mall here, Rosemont Fashion Outlets.
I love going there.
That you can go and get some of this high-end stuff that people are paying thousands of dollars for, and it's not
For much
costing that in those stores.
You
It's
know
not.
what I just learned recently? It was like kind of closer to Christmas time because everyone wants Ugg boots, right?
Yeah.
But I didn't realize that there's like a higher tier of Ugg. So Ugg Australia is actual Ugg boots where when we'd buy them maybe 20 years ago, a lot of them were Ugg Australia boots. Now these are Ugg boots, so they're not the same
Koolaburra
quality.
or whatever
Yeah, it's not like the same like whatever fur that they use. Even though it's mostly faux fur that they're using, it's not the same quality that Ugg Australia, which is a higher price, and it will last you longer compared to just Ugg boots.
You know what I was thinking? I always think that if they tell you this is a sale, you know how like you go someplace and it'll be a big sign, high end or not, and it'll say this is on sale. If they marked it down that much, that's not even how much, it's worth even less than that.
I know.
Because think about it, why would you give it away? You know, you got to be making a profit. So if they're telling you, oh, this is a sale, it's $500, and maybe it was originally $2,000, it's really probably worth $100 or less.
Can I give you just one more thing that I'm like not looking forward to?
What?
And this is totally random. Sorry, we're going off on a
On a tangent.
But I have to go mattress shopping soon. I am like actually so scared about doing it because I feel like everything we look up online is like, you know, it's just controlled by ads.
So how am I going to look up best mattresses and know how to decipher what's actually like studied? But then even
I'm gonna give you what to do.
But then even
Go ahead.
people are like, oh, go on ChatGPT, go on these other. I'm like, but how do we not know? How do we know?
How does a robot know?
Yeah, and how does a robot know? Robots aren't trying out any of these mattresses, okay? But well, I'm thinking about the people who are like in relationships with them. I still don't think they're trying out any mattresses. But like, how do we know that those search results aren't controlled by ads?
This is what you're gonna do.
What am I gonna do?
You're gonna go to the mattress store. You're gonna lay on the bed. You're gonna fill it out. Then all of a sudden, you're gonna jump up and just start jumping on the bed.
But then I'm gonna get that
I'm telling you how to try it out. You're gonna jump on the bed and you're gonna see how low do you sink down every time you jump. And that'll be the gauge of if this is a good bed or not. And then you're gonna have your husband do the exact same thing at the same time with you in the bed.
But how do you know? Like, I don't want.
That's the test.
I don't. That'd be crazy, test.
Good. I wanna. When you go, call me so I can record
someone. We need someone from. No, what? I'm not gonna invite you to record that.
Go
we
ahead.
need actually what?
Get it out. Get
A mattress worker to join us and tell us like how to know if
well, they can jump
something.
too.
No, that three's a party.
Came up with that. I don't know why.
Three's a party.
It is a party. Well,
You just
I don't know
came
what
up with that?
I just randomly came up with that. But when I went mattress shopping, I just looked for like a thick mattress. I wanted the top to be soft, but not too soft, to where over time it like becomes where you're sinking down. But yeah, I didn't have a problem. I was probably in the store
maybe I'm just
an
too
hour.
paranoid about it.
I was in the store maybe an hour, and I didn't spend a whole bunch.
And you're happy with your
And it's
purchase?
still nice, yeah.
Okay. All right, maybe I'm just a little too
You're
paranoid.
overthinking this. Okay, here's our last and final trender for
And this
today.
is something I do every morning.
You drink hot water?
Yeah, I do.
So apparently this is not science-backed, but there's a new wellness trend that people are swearing by. Drinking hot water is part of the morning routine. Now, I'm curious, why do you do it?
To help with digestion. I heard like long
they
ago,
say.
actually my grandmother used to do it, and she was put psyllium husk in there, which is like a fiber. And she would drink it every morning. I don't really have the time to put psyllium in there, and sometimes I'm afraid if I get dehydrated throughout the day, then it kind of does the reverse effect if you're drinking that kind of fiber. Yeah, it just kind of helps you get. It also helps wake you up.
And it says it helps with bloating too, that it decreases bloating and it helps with digestion. But there is nothing to back this. This is just people started doing it, and it has. Whose old video is this? This is from 1970. I'm sorry, I couldn't help it. That kid is 60 now from when this video came out.
This is like when Thanksgiving rolls around in the news and you see these Thanksgiving
That kid is
like
70 now. I'm sorry, I couldn't help it.
Oh, okay.
Okay, anyways, let me read this so I can get it out. Okay, I'm sorry. One acupuncturist told the New York Times that having cold food or drinks in the morning can have the opposite effect. Actually, I've heard that it will shock your body.
It affects your, what do the like traditional Chinese medicine people say? It affects your qi, right?
Okay,
like,
go with it. Sure.
Okay, sure.
That's what it says.
Yeah, like your yin and yang,
Traditional
you know?
Chinese,
Yeah.
Believed to balance yin-yang energy, boost circulation, and aid in detoxifying the body. You know, I have heard that cold water will shock the body. What did that sign say?
2.
Oh, okay. He's telling us to wrap it up because I was talking about that video. Yeah, but I just feel like I don't think about that. I usually drink room temperature water. So I would
I'll
think
do that
that's
too.
better
If I
for the
have
body,
time,
too.
I'll just put it in the microwave. Really, what I do actually is I have this like crazy nighttime drink that I have, and I think I've told you about it before, where it's like literally like 10 steps. And at this point, I'm paying a lot per month.
You look good though, so
it
it must be working.
Well, no, but it's just like to like hang out or not hang out. I don't know what I'm saying. I can't handle the compliment. Thank you, Tia. You know, just like kind of help me sleep and stuff because it has magnesium, and again, it has like another fiber supplement in there. But I'll get done with drinking that. I'll fill up my water, leave it overnight so it's room temperature. If I have time or remember, I'll put it in the microwave, and if not, then I'll just drink the room temperature. But a full glass.
Full glass. Can we play that video one more time?
What's up with you?
Was fun.
These poor.
I don't know. Every time I look at it, I just think, whoa, I wasn't alive when this video was.
So what do you
shot.
think this was for?
I think it was for water, probably tap water versus bottled water. That's what I think.
You're totally right. That's it. I was
she's
like
now
maybe
75.
The first one was medication.
The throwback
This is like
video.
summer, stay hydrated.
Yeah, I love it.
Is
All right,
really
stay with
throwback
us
to me.
right here on Chicago Now. We're always having a good time. We'll be right back.
And I approve this message.
Welcome back to Chicago Now. We were just talking about how St. Patrick's Day celebrations, at least, are happening this weekend. St. Patrick's Day would be next week, though, right?
Right.
I'm guessing. I don't know what day of the week it is, but maybe someone else will know. Usually celebrations involve drinking, but they don't have to necessarily, especially with the new sober movement. The Phoenix has you covered when it comes to plans for this holiday. We're learning more about the events it's hosting with Mark Graham, Phoenix volunteer and spokesperson. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Let's talk about first, tell us about Phoenix. If people aren't familiar, what all do you guys do?
Yeah, so Phoenix, we're a sober, active community. We're a nonprofit, and what we do is we foster the power of transformation through resilience, connection, and personal growth, and we create events and programming all over the country and all over the city itself, and that could be anything from yoga to rock climbing to biking to we even now on St. Patrick's Day we have sober St. Patrick's roller skating and trivia night. So anything that brings people together, that creates community for a sober activity, that's what we harness. And our only requirement is that 48 hours sober. And our mission is we believe in the power of transformation through connection.
How did Phoenix even start? How did it get started?
Yeah, that's a great question. Phoenix started by a gentleman named Scott Strode, and he started it out in 2006 out in Denver. And it started to slowly grow there. And ironically enough, I got into recovery roughly a little bit around 2010, and my journey kind of took me into doing long distance running, and I was doing the Chicago Marathon, and I just kind of noticed how there were so many communities down there for the Chicago Marathon, the American Cancer Society, the leukemia, that cause, and the Wounded Warriors. And I saw people in the recovery community, but we were kind of like lone wolves. We were just nodding to each other and saying hello. And fast forward, I saw Scott on a TED Talk, and it was getting sober on a mountain. And Scott founded Phoenix back in 2006. At the time, it had 50,000 members. And today we exceed 1 million members.
Wow. Well, Mark, congratulations to you and to everyone
Thank
who's a
you.
part of Phoenix. That's really something to be proud of. Let's talk about the St. Patrick's Day events because we're seeing some of that really fun pictures.
of people maybe roller skating, it looks like, and you mentioned a roller skating event as well.
Yeah, so we have a roller skating event going on, and that is on St. Patrick's Day, and I have the address for it's Silver St. Patrick's roller skating, and that's out in Glenwood, and I could give you that address. And then we also have a trivia night that night as well. So those are two of our programmings, and we have programmings every day, daily, around the Chicagoland area, but just specifically for St. Patrick's Day, we do have our Silver roller skating event and our trivia night, and you could find those on our new form app as well.
Mark, you know, when St. Patrick's Day comes around, the first thing people started talking about is where are they going to drink? You see those posts everywhere. You can't really avoid the part about the alcohol, and that can be triggering for people that are trying to live a sober life. With that being said, how should people handle that, you know, when St. Patrick's Day rolls around if they're trying to stay sober?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, we believe in the power of numbers and accountability. And so if we feel like if you're going to go out and you're going to be in social situations, you know, where drinking is going to be, happening around you, go out with a sober companion. Go out with somebody, you know, that has your back. And we believe in the power of numbers. And I would recommend, you know, everybody, you know, I grew up in Chicago and I've had my fair share of fun with St. Patrick's Day. And, you know, there's more to the holiday than just hanging out in a bar all day. You know, we have a beautiful, you know, that we dye the river green and we have a beautiful city. And, you know, I encourage people to get outside and be active around the city. But, you know, if you're going to be around, you know, be mindful of your drinks. We live in a day and age now where there's more accessible to non-alcoholic drinks, but you just have to be mindful, you know, what you're ordering and what they're getting you. There's a lot of NA beers that offer alcohol beers and NA beers. So be mindful of the label when they hand it to you, and just you know, have that accountability and try to go out and really enjoy the experience itself authentically.
Mark, you said that one of your, you know, quote unquote qualifications for being in the Phoenix is 48 hours sober, I think you said. There's kind of, it seems like a new trend maybe with younger people who are not drinking as much. You know, can they be a part of it? Because I know a lot of people struggle. I see posts all the time. Here are things that you can do that aren't sitting at a bar with your friends. And, you know, they give a list. But do you encourage even those folks? Maybe they don't necessarily have a problem, but they want to find these events to go to. Do you encourage them to look at the Phoenix?
Oh, absolutely. We encourage anybody, you know, whatever path they're on, and we meet people where, you know, wherever path they're on, their own unique path, and we believe in that, and we believe in the power of inclusion. And so I would encourage anybody that comes in. You know, because we are we support a sober lifestyle, and we also encourage family members and loved ones to come join us. You know, we believe that we rise up together, and I would encourage younger people that, you know, we try to adhere to the 48-hour, you know, and just out of respect to other people that are living a sober life, is that, you know, if you could have 48 hours sober, or, you know, come to our events and enjoy yourself. You know, we support a sober lifestyle, and that can look a lot of different ways, but we don't want to, you know, exclude other people as well.
Tell us about the people that are a part of this, because maybe somebody's watching right now and maybe they're just afraid, you know, to go to a group setting like this. Tell us what kind of environment they would be walking into.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's one of the things that can be, you know, kind of overwhelming and scary. And when you come into the world, you know, a new world, and you're in recovery and you're trying to socialize and still be around other people. And you know, so it's like we are an incredibly safe space. And what we do is we are very welcoming. And when we recognize immediately if somebody is new or it's their first event, that they, in essence, are the most important person there, that we want them to feel, you know, welcomed, and we want to see them come back. And our goal is to build a community. You know, we believe that the opposite of addiction is connection, and we try to do that in any welcoming way. But I get it, where it could be kind of like, you know, oh wow, I'm going into a new situation with people I don't even know. You know, but we've all been there. So we have this, you know, this empathy for people when it's their first time. And, you know, we want them to feel welcomed and to see them come back again.
You know, Mark, can I ask you, just in case someone at home is interested, and even like hearing this, it is interesting. we're looking for more events where you don't have to like sit down and have a drink. Obviously, some of these events, you know, like it seems like it wouldn't be free, right? Roller skating and rock climbing, like I'm saying.
Yeah.
Is there a cost? Is it like monthly for people? Is it a drop-in cost to be able to participate in these?
Yeah, that's a great question, and that's and it's even more impressive to me that we just exceeded 1 million members around the country, because every programming we have is free of charge.
Wow.
We are, we are a nonprofit, and our success rate, I don't have the data, but our success rate is really high for people staying sober when they attend our events for after 3 months, and then it improves even more after 6 months and on to a year. And so we get a lot of support through federal grants, and there are a lot of donors around the world that have lost family members to addiction, and so they inherently believe in our movement and our cause, and so we're very grateful to have a lot of donors and people that give back to allow Phoenix to be accessible to anyone and everyone. So that gives us the ability to have these events for free. And Chicago's an expensive city, and if you can go and do yoga for an hour or go to a group workout for free, that's a win-win. And and so you're not only enjoying your event, you're taking care of your body, and you're building some friendships and some connections with people that are on the same path that you're on.
Mark, I want to ask you if you can answer this question. What makes you guys similar maybe to AA, and then what makes you different from an organization like AA?
Well, I can't speak for AA, but we believe that there's this. We have one of our mottos one year was remove the stigma, and I think a lot of times when people get into recovery and they're finally they're taking care of themselves and they're rebuilding their lives, there still is somewhat of a stigma attached to that, and that's why I talked about when I was down at the Chicago Marathon and I would see people that I'm in recovery with. It's like we're this little. There's not a big face or a voice to the recovery community, and I think that's what Phoenix is doing, and that's been a game changer all over the country. Is that a lot of us were athletes before we went down a path that we didn't plan on going down, and there's a lot of us that are very talented people that really enjoy to live an authentic life, and so we believe in expressing that movement as vocally as we can, so people can see that there's more, there's another path to addiction, and that's getting into recovery, and people can recover and live prosperous, fulfilling lives, and that's what we're all about.
Mark, this is great, and thank you for this information. Honestly, I've never heard of the Phoenix, and I'm so glad that I learned a little bit more today. Hopefully people at home learned a little bit more. Looks like that trivia night's happening in Lakeview on St. Patrick's Day, and then that skate's happening over in Chicago Heights. Sounds great. If people want more information, should they follow the Phoenix on social media? Is that a good place to go, or is it directly to the website?
Yeah, so you can come to the Phoenix website, which is thephoenix.org. And you can find us there, and we are a sober active community. And then one of the things that we just developed a little while ago is it's called the New Form app, and that's what you were just showing on the screen. And the New Form app is a very user-friendly app that you go on whether you're in Chicago or New York or anywhere around the country, and you're looking for connection and maybe get a workout in and connect with some people. You could find events on that app, where you're at. And then we have every app, meetings online. We have online streaming services. We have in-person things. We're getting into music festivals, and we're getting into comedy shows. And, whatever's bringing people together in a social way, Phoenix can make happen and will make happen.
Well, Mark Graham, we appreciate you taking time to come on Chicago Now today. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you for having me.
All right.
Happy St. Patrick's Day.
Happy St. Patrick's coming up right around the corner. Okay, coming up, we're going to be talking to an attorney. She is called the Mom Attorney. This is for moms out there. Maybe you're expecting a baby. Maybe you just had your baby. Everything you need to know in terms of some of those laws impacting moms. We'll have that and much more right after this break.
local.
Welcome back to Chicago Now. Okay, new moms, this is all about you. With the new year comes new labor laws, and some can help and some can have a negative impact on you if you're not aware of exactly what these laws are. We want to bring into the conversation the mom attorney, Daphne Delvaux, who is joining us right now. Thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you so much for having me and for making time for this conversation.
Yeah, I'm happy that we're talking about it because some people probably have no idea about these new laws that are on the books. I want to start out with this. We know the city of Chicago is making headlines for being one of the only cities in the U.S. with this double 40 mandate. For the parents watching who are still confused about their pay stubs, what exactly is this 80-hour rule and how does it differ from the standard sick time that we're already used to?
Yeah, so let's talk about the double 40. Sounds like a really good burger, but it's actually something you really need to understand about your workplace rights. So you have the state law that provides 40 hours of paid time off, and that is a protected paid leave that you can use for any reason. You don't need to give a reason. You can just use the time and request the time. And then the city also gives an additional 40 hours for sick leave. And so in total, you can take both. So these are two separate and distinct sets of rights that stack on top of each other. So for example, if your child is sick, you can take 1 week paid time off. And then if you go into spring break, you can take another week paid time off. So it's important that parents understand that they can use both.
You know, I've heard, Daphne, with some jobs, with some companies, you know, maybe you have a baby, you're even a father maybe, right. You have the baby the first of the year, close to the beginning of the year, so that kind of takes out, you know, all of your vacation, your sick time. Are you saying then that you would have those protected hours regardless of how much time you took for your maternity, paternal leave?
Yes, because these are separate rights from FMLA. FMLA is a federal law that gives time off, protected time off, about 12 weeks for bonding or for healing from childbirth. However, these categories of rights are state and local laws, and so they're separate from federal rights. And what's really interesting about this conversation is that you can actually add state and local laws on top of your federal rights. So they're just different categories. And so we don't have to look at the same eligibility factors or obstacles because they're just actually not relevant in the conversation around state law and local law.
Let me ask you this. So I'm reading this question, trying to understand it, and maybe you can help us clarify this. So for the last year, bosses had a grace period to fix mistakes when they denied leave, but as of 2026, that safety net is officially gone. So if a mom is being told no or feels like her boss is ignoring these new rules, what exactly should she be documenting right now to protect herself and her paycheck? Is there anything they can do, a mom can do?
Yeah, this is such a good question. And I want to clarify that this is not just PTO that your boss or your manager can deny. This is a protected paid leave. And so if your employer doesn't grant you your request, they will be facing legal consequences and penalties. And so the grace period was to give employers a bit of a window of time to understand these new rules, because anytime a new law rolls out, we've got to give some time for everyone to know what it is about and how to implement it. But that grace period is now ending by the end of June. And so if the employer is now rejecting or denying any of these paid leave requests or retaliating on that basis, then that employer can be brought to court. And the way to prepare yourself is to make sure you're tracking all of your requests, make sure you have copies of requests that you're submitting to your manager.
How important is that? Maybe we can, you know, just kind of talk on documenting it. You know, people might think like, you know, I don't need to, or it's going to be too much. Like that won't be worth the time that I'm using now to document these things for later. And maybe there's not a current problem right now, but do you really suggest that people take the time, even for little things, to document?
I always recommend that because you've got to keep in mind your employer owns your emails. And so when you lose your job, you also lose access to your emails. So even with small issues, big issues, anything related to you protecting yourself or requesting things, especially something serious like legal requests, you want to make sure that you BCC your personal email address or you make a copy or a screenshot, because in my work, unfortunately, I see these sorts of emails disappear time and time again.
I want to talk to you about this law that hit massive change. It happened January 1st, and this is really regarding nursing moms. In Illinois, it is very clear that pumping time must be paid time. So if a manager tells a mom she has to clock out or use her lunch break to pump, what is the exact script or power phrase that that mom should use to shut that down?
Yeah, and for some context, Illinois, we should celebrate. It's actually one of the only states, there's maybe like 2 or 3, that pay moms during pump time. In all other states, this time is unpaid, which really discourages her from pumping and from breastfeeding, because she's going to be losing a lot of money. And so we should really celebrate that we have this protection for moms, and they may not even be aware of it because they may hear from people in other states or from a resource that only cites federal law that this time is unpaid. And so again, because everyone's confused about it, it's important to bring these issues to your employer and say, hey, actually in our state, we do actually pay, we continue payment during the breaks, and it's very likely the employer just doesn't know. And so just giving everyone the benefit of the doubt, bringing the law to your employer, actually like printing it out and bringing it to them with the relevant part highlighted is always my recommended way and MO to get your employer to understand the legal obligations, and then making sure that you're collaborative and that you work together to change policy, because this is again one of these things that most people just don't know because we're not really paying attention to our local rights.
You know, Daphne, there's one more talking point that I want to make sure we get through, because, you know, we're looking ahead. This doesn't technically go into place until June, but Illinois just passed the Family Neonatal Intensive Care Leave Act. Why is it so important to understand that this new law, why is it important to understand this new law before the baby actually comes? And how does it protect a parent's job, you know, if things take a unfortunate, unexpected turn?
Yeah, and this is such a beautiful law. It's such a generous and compassionate law, because what it does is that it extends your leave by 10 days or by 20 days if you work for a larger employer, if you have a baby in the NICU. And so you will be given more time to be with your baby. And that's important because what a lot of parents do when they have a baby in the NICU is they kind of go back to work because they want to save their leave time. And the state is compassionate here and actually gives you more time, and this goes into effect June of this year. And so understanding now what your rights are, so that when it happens you're not suddenly frantically trying to understand all of these changes. It's so much better to be ahead of it and to be prepared, so that you know also how to request it of your employer when hopefully if it doesn't happen, but if it does happen, it's important to be prepared now.
Daphne, I don't know if you know the answer to this, but to really kind of get specific, is there a certain amount of time that your baby needs to be in the NICU for you to earn that extra leave?
So the max time that you can take in addition is 10 days. If you work for a smaller employer, 20 days that you work. If you work for a bigger employer, your baby doesn't need to be in the NICU for a certain amount of time. They just need to be in the NICU. But at a certain point, your time will be expired. And do also understand there is a federal law called the Pregnant Workers Fairness Act that allows you to extend your time when your baby is in the NICU. This is something that I discuss in my book, Moms in Labor, that just came out last week, because there's just all of these really interesting protections and tools mothers can use to make sure that their babies are safe and they're safe and healthy.
It's just so interesting talking about this, because I was talking with some friends and I think they had their baby, I want to say it was either Canada or in the UK, and I was like, yeah, so you know, when you went back to work after a few months, and they were like, no, we didn't go back to work until like a year later, because of the difference in laws versus like what we're talking about, and talking about improvements to the law here in Illinois. Can you talk about, because you did highlight a few of these and say, you know, hats off to Illinois for what Illinois has been able to pull off and doing things different. How do our laws compare to some of these other states?
Yeah, and this is important in my line of work, because I also hear the rhetoric around how we compare to European countries. And I actually grew up in Europe, and so I can speak with some experience, but I do actually see in a lot of states and in Illinois that there's some protections that we have that women in Europe don't. And so it kind of goes both ways. What I see Illinois do well is these kind of emergency protections like the NICU leave, like the sick leave, where they need to catch up to other states is kind of a more comprehensive paid leave system for at least 12 weeks. Right now, we're only seeing kind of these like 40 weeks, 40 hours or 10 days. Like, it's just too short. However, when we use them, when we celebrate them, then we can build on them. And that's how every paid leave system works in every paid leave state, that they actually started small, they celebrate it, they build on it, and then they can expand it from there.
Well, Daphne, I mean, I appreciate you coming in and talking about this, because it sometimes seems like a big secret, right? Or like you have to be a professional like yourself to understand things or find this out. You said that you wrote a book. Can you tell us one more time where people can, what it's called, and where people can find your book as well?
Yeah, I'm really proud of it. Here it is, Moms in Labor. And this is just, it's my mission to make sure mothers understand the options that are right in front of them, and don't get pulled into this assumption that they have no rights, they have no protections. There are things you can do. They're not perfect, but they're more than nothing. And with some creativity and some savviness and some strategy, you can actually accomplish some really great things. Yes, in America. Yes, in Illinois, using a combination of federal, state, and local law.
All right, perfectly said. The Mama Attorney.
I know.
You can find her on all social media platforms. Daphne, thank you so much for your time.
You're so welcome. Thank you for having me.
Thank you. Yeah, that's some good information, because sometimes you're taking information from people, maybe you're a mom or someone like that, and they haven't had a baby recently.
Exactly.
So that stuff is out the window.
You know, is trying to give you help, but things change pretty quickly. And yeah, maybe it's not like at the forefront. It's not the first thing you're seeing in one of those articles about some of the new laws that are coming in.
Right.
So very interesting, huh?
Very interesting. I'm happy she broke it down. Okay, coming up, we're going to talk about some other things that are trending.
One is wild.
One, I'll give you a little hint. Some men believe that wives should obey their husbands. We'll break it down for you right after this break.
President.
Welcome back to Chicago Now. You're going to think this one's interesting, and I kind of was wishing that you weren't going to look at it before, because I was going to surprise you.
I didn't read it all, so you can surprise me.
Okay, all right. So here's the headline, okay? Here's the headline. Gen Z males twice as likely as baby boomers to believe wives should obey husbands.
Don't put them on a leash.
And you know what? That's crazy.
That's crazy.
Yeah, Tia goes, I ain't a dog.
I'm saying. I mean, I want to hear the rationale, though. I don't want to jump to
And you would think, like, baby boomers, right? Like, there would maybe be the first to, like, have those old school kind of, like,
thoughts, like ways of life and expectations.
You can't control a dog, so how do you think you're going to control a grown-up?
I don't know. Almost a third. Let me read you some facts here.
Let me hear it.
Almost a third of Generation Z, men and boys, think a wife should obey her husband, according to a global survey of like 23,000 people.
Okay.
That found young men hold more traditional values about gender roles than older generations. I also have heard that like this generation is very nostalgic, and like they for some reason want to kind of like live in the past and have those gender norms, which I thought we were finally making kind of like some strides.
That's why I'm listening. I want to hear the rationale.
A third, so 33% of Gen Z males also said husbands should have the final word on important decisions.
Okay, I'll give you that.
It found
making the money,
that
you
Gen
can have all
Z
the final
males,
decisions you want.
And so Gen Z is 1997 to 2012.
Okay.
So there's also very low end. So, you know, they're not taking that whole you know, span of ages. We're twice as likely as baby boomers to have traditional values on decision making with their marriage, which is 13% of men in the older cohort agreeing that a wife should always obey her husband. Among women, 18% of Gen Z and 6% of baby boomers agreed.
Okay, wait a minute. Let's stop.
Wait, okay, I need to read that again. Among women, 18% of Gen Z and 6% of baby boomers agreed with that. With women, women should obey their husband.
Okay, I want to go back to something you said. You said, I'm reading it right now, husbands should have the final say on important decisions. Okay, listen here. Okay, this is what I'm going to say, because I guess you want my reaction because you didn't want me to read it, so I'm going to give it to you. Well, listen, if you are the breadwinner and you want to have the final decision, final say on decisions, okay, cool, no problem with that. Obey, when I hear the word obey, I think of sit down, shut up, don't say anything, everything I do you agree with is what I hear when I hear the word obey.
You're gonna like this one.
And I don't like that. I don't like that. I don't like that. I'm not a puppy.
I should say you're not gonna like this one. Almost a quarter of Gen Z males think women should not appear too independent or self-sufficient compared to 12% of baby boomer men.
Okay, well, if that's the case, again, back to my original statement, if you are the breadwinner then, and you want me not to seem independent or have my own ideology or, you know, my own things, then you should make enough money to where I can sit at home and relax.
Here's another
And then
one.
I'd be forced to obey.
Here's our last one.
Because that's
More
not
than
making
half
sense.
of Gen Z males said men were expected to do too much to support equality, compared to 45% of baby boomer men.
Well, those expectations are completely crazy.
Wait, should we even be trusting this? Because
that doesn't make any sense.
A lot of like young men, just like, this is horrible to say maybe. This is really
Well,
like,
we're on the
putting them-
topic.
But
That's crazy.
they're just kind of blindly doing these surveys. I hope this is the case at least, that they're just blindly doing these. You know, you're ever asked to like do a survey and maybe you do it a little bit too quick and you're not truly like looking at.
No, I think they looked at it. I think they made.
You think so?
Yeah, I think they did make this decision because I do think that there is a huge portion of the population of men who do believe that women should sit down and obey. I do believe that. I think that, and this is the gag. They will see you as an independent woman, and that will be what was attractive about you, that you were independent, that you had your own things, that you were, you know, maybe attractive on social media or whatever, and then when they get you, they want to sit you down and they want to make you someone else, but that's not who you picked.
No.
You didn't pick that person that was, I didn't appear that I was going to obey. You met me and I had blonde hair. Now you're with me and you want me to go brown because you want me to be more docile. And it's like, no, you can't have an idea of somebody, be attracted to that, and then try to morph them into someone else. And I'm guessing that's what's happening.
That's very true. Well,
let me morph you and make you obey.
The good news is, this is a tease for tomorrow. We're actually going to have a guest on to explain this, to break it all down.
They got to break that down for me, because I'm sorry,
Also,
I'm not
sometimes like reading a whole thing of you know, statistics is confusing. Like I want to hear like, you know,
the actual
case examples.
Yeah, I mean, like, should you let a man lead?
I'm visual.
In a marriage, if you are in a heterosexual marriage and you've determined that the husband's going to be the lead, sure. Yes, I can agree with that. But am I going to sit down, puppy, puppy? No, I'm not doing that.
See, this
but I will let you lead me.
This next one, if my husband can control one thing I do, it's probably to shut me up during
control issues
a drive. Yeah.
So she is a backseat driver, and people say that the backseat drivers are the most annoying. A new poll says backseat driving is the most annoying habit for passengers. My husband always says it can actually cause you to get into an accident. That's what he says, because you're yelling and talking.
Yeah, it is true.
A Talker research says, survey says 42% of people do not want to be told how to drive. I can believe that. They rank backseat drivers as far worse than those passengers who leave their trash behind in your car, put their feet up on your dashboard, or who are late for a pickup time. The survey found it takes an average of about 13 minutes for drivers to put up with those annoying habits before they start calling people out. I don't do it.
I don't know
as
what
much.
it is. I don't know what it is. I can't keep my mouth shut.
I'll say slow down a little bit, like, man, you're going too fast. But other than that,
But I won't do it with like friends necessarily.
Just your husband.
Well, that or like, and he's a fine driver. I just get so panicked. I think because.
But
like,
why aren't you panicked with other people? Is he not a good driver?
Well, here's the thing. Actually, you know why? Because I'm usually the one driving. Because I usually am always the one who volunteered driving, and it's for good reason.
So you don't do this to other people, but you do it to your husband?
Well, and sometimes my parents, I would do it too.
Wait, where is this? Where is that card about obey? It should actually say Gen Z women. Twice as likely as baby boomers to believe their husbands
No, it's actually
should obey.
Issue. That's the one thing, like, I cannot stop. It's like something is wired in me that's different, where like as soon as like someone else that's very close to me and I love dearly.
You do it to your mom if she's driving? Oh, okay. So yeah, you got a problem.
Don't get too close. Don't get too close. I might
if I'm driving,
do the
you're
same
gonna
thing to you.
yell at me. Got it. Prepared to be yelled at.
Do you think this is true? Oh,
What?
we're running out of
Yeah, look at the time.
Oh
What do
my
you think?
goodness. I like this one.
We'll talk about it tomorrow.
Okay.
Make sure you join us tomorrow. We'll have much more on these trending topics that we can't let go of. Oh, it's beautiful outside. Get out there. Enjoy the day. Stay safe. Until then, we'll see.
This is Korea.